What's Mercedes Benz doing with the G-Wagon? Let's get into it on mountain roads. The current G-Wagon comes in two different flavors. First is the G550. It currently makes use of a 4-liter bi-turbo V8. The G50's V8 is good for 416 horsepower and 450 pound-feet. Second is the AMG G63. The G63 also makes use of a 4-liter bi-turbo V8. The G63's V8 is good for 577 horsepower and 627 pound-feet. For 2024, we think there could be one shakeup for the G-Wagon engine lineup. That shakeup could be the G550 losing the V8 and moving to a 3-liter mild hybrid inline-6, similar to the new S-Class. In the S500 4MATIC, this engine makes 429 horsepower and 384 pound-feet. While horsepower is a bit higher, there is a big difference in torque. However, we could see Mercedes-Benz tweaking the tune for the G-Wagon application of this engine. As for the G63, we do think the 4-liter bi-turbo V8 will stick around. While there could be a power bump, we think it will stay unchanged with 577 horsepower and 627 pound-feet. We think both the G550 and G63 will carry on with a 9-speed automatic transmission. Permanent all-wheel drive should also carry over for both models. The G-Wagon, we think, will receive some exterior refreshes for 2024. We think the front end could receive an updated grille, active shutters, and a revised front bumper, while the rear may get a revised wheel cover design and rear bumper. New wheel designs may also be available. The managing director of the G-Class business unit has even said the improvements will be subtle, but have a profound impact on the aerodynamic efficiency and reduction in fuel consumption. We think the spy photos show the classic G-Wagon shape will continue. For the interior, we think the 2024 G-Wagon will finally receive the MBUX infotainment system. There could be an updated steering wheel and a new larger dual-screen setup for the driver's display and infotainment screen. There could also be a refreshed center console with new controls and switches thanks to the addition of the MBUX system. We think the new G-Wagon will be revealed by the end of this year or early next year. There is mention that it could be released as a 2025 model. Pricing for the new G-Wagon, we think, will start in the mid-140s, and the new AMG G-Wagon could start in the high 180s. That brings us to the next G, the EQG. The EQG will be a fully electric version of the G-Class. We think the new EQG will be powered by a quad motor setup, one driving each wheel. This should provide a permanent 4-wheel drive system, although there have been rumors of a rear-wheel drive version of the EQG. Low-range transfer boxes, also one for each wheel, are also rumored to enhance its off-road abilities. Like the G-Class, we think there could be a couple of trim levels for the EQG. We heard the EQG 560 and the EQG 580 being tossed around. Power numbers haven't been released, but we think the EQG 560 could have at least as much, if not more, than the G63. The current EQS 580 makes 536 horsepower, so we think 600 horsepower or more could easily be in the offering with the quad motor setup. All we know about torque levels is that Mercedes-Benz has said it will have enormous pulling power. As for range, we think the EQG will be the first Mercedes-Benz EV with their new range-boosting technology, a new silicon anode battery material. The battery size, we think, will be 108 kilowatt hours, which is the largest that is currently offered by Mercedes-Benz. To protect it while off-roading, we heard it will be housed in a steel case wrapped in a carbon fiber reinforced polymer that should allow it to wade through deep water. Range for the EQG, we think, will come in at just over 300 miles. The exterior of the EQG, we think, will receive some visual differences to set it apart from the ICE version of the G-Wagon. The EQG will be instantly recognizable as a G-Wagon, and we think the differences will be minor. The aerodynamic improvements from the new G-Class are actually related to the EQG and are incorporated into its design. One difference we're hoping that does make it is the more box-shaped wheel cover in the rear that was on the EQG prototype. In the prototype, it holds the charging cord. We think with some added size, it could hold a tire and the cord. One design feature we're curious about is if the EQG will receive the illuminated grille like other EQ models. The interior of the EQG, we think, will mirror the new G-Class, although with some minor differences. The EQG looks to have the prominent wide digital display, including the digital instrument cluster and center infotainment screen. It's further down the center stack where we can see some differences. Buttons that usually control the G-Wagon's differentials now look to handle some unique EQG functions, one of which could be the tank turn function. The EQG, it seems, has also done away with the analog clock in favor of a row of buttons, perhaps for climate control or seat heating and cooling controls. We think the EQG will be revealed by the end of this year or in Q1 of 2024. We think it will go on sale later next year. There is mention that the EQG could be released as a 2025 model. Pricing for the EQG, we think, will start between $150,000 and $200,000. And this brings us to the final new G, the little G, the compact G-Class that Mercedes Benz says will be available as an EV, and there might be a good old-fashioned ICE model. We think the little G will feature a unique platform, as Mercedes wants it to maintain its off-roading capabilities. Using an 800-volt architecture, the little G should arrive with a range of over 300 miles. We think the little G will also feature a new electric motor, developed in-house, and debuting on the forthcoming new CLA. Power for the new compact EV sedan ranges from about 200 horsepower for the single-motor rear-wheel drive version to about 530 horsepower for the two-motor AMG variant. We think with a little tweak on the lower end, that would be a good range for the new little G. Mercedes has also offered that the G-Class, the GLB class, and the Energy Force concept from 2012 have contributed to the design of the upcoming little G. We think it will most likely have 4 doors, although a 2-door model has been rumored. It should easily be recognizable as a G because of the classy box G shape we think it will have. Engines for the ICE models, if there is one, have been kept under wraps. If the G-Class is downsized, we think the turbo inline 4 from the current C-Class would be a leading contender. However, we'd hope for the inline 6 from the current E-Class. We think the little G is still a ways off, and won't be revealed until after the EQG. We think that means we won't see the little G until 2026. As for pricing, we would guess a starting price in the $60,000 to $70,000 range for the entry-level model, pushing to well over $100,000 for the top-of-the-line AMG model. If they make it. If you made it this far, please consider joining the Roadies with a click on that green button. If you still haven't left yet, here's another episode YouTube thinks you should check out. We'll see you next time on Mountain Roads.